Kimberly Young here, CPA, and I just want to fill you in on a few ways that you can buy your next car with cash. First, let's focus on your current auto loan. Once you pay that off, you want to continue making the payments, but of course, not to the lender. Instead, you want to make those payments to an automatic savings account that's specifically identified as your car fund. That car fund can only be used for car repairs or the purchase of your next vehicle. Also, if you have a vehicle now and the car payment is really making you struggle from month to month financially, then you might want to consider dialing it back. Maybe get rid of that expensive vehicle and go with one that has a much more practical price point for you. As you're paying off your current auto loan, you want to make sure that you are putting as much extra towards that principal as you can. So maybe you cut back on a few times of going through a drive-through. Maybe you get rid of the Amazon app for the next few months. Whatever you can do to start just kind of throwing that extra money at your current car loan so that once you pay that off, you can then own your car free and clear and be saving towards your next vehicle. Now that you've paid off your vehicle and you're setting that money aside, you know what most people typically do? They're like, well, it's time for me to buy my next vehicle. Well, for you, you're smarter than that. You know that just because you paid one off doesn't mean you necessarily have to go buy another car. This is a great time for you to try to get as much use out of your current vehicle that you've already paid off as possible. That way you have longer to be saving for that next car. I also encourage you to put any windfalls towards the purchase of your next vehicle. When I say windfall, I mean maybe an unexpected or even expected kind of chunk of money that you receive in addition to your normal income. This could be a tax return, this could be a birthday gift, perhaps it's some type of inheritance. But you could take that money and instead of just going on a shopping spree, you can put it towards your current debt or you could put it towards saving for your next vehicle. When the time does come for you to purchase that next car, you want to make sure that if you can, you time it the best as possible. So, whenever it's the beginning of the year, there's a couple of reasons that vehicles are typically the most expensive. One, that's when the new makes and models are usually coming out. Two, that's the time of year that more people are getting tax refunds and they have this new sum of money that they just don't know what to do with, so they go and put it towards a new vehicle. And for that reason, car prices are typically higher at the beginning of the year. When you get closer to the end of the year, a lot of times car lots are trying to get rid of their inventory so that they can make room for those new models and have them ready for the next tax season. So if you can postpone your next car purchase towards the end of a year, then that would be ideal. When you do choose to go ahead and purchase that, you also would be losing money if you decide to buy a brand new vehicle. That's because as soon as you drive that vehicle off the lot, it's now used and it immediately is going to experience a depreciation of the value as much as 15 or 20%. Now, just because you're buying a used vehicle doesn't mean you have to get some old clunker. You can go and make sure that you look at the Carfax to see if it's been in any accidents, if it's been kept up with the regular maintenance that it should be having. You can also have a mechanic to check it out and look for anything that would be concerning before you purchase that vehicle. If you think that perhaps you've found the perfect vehicle, make sure that you take time to think about it. A lot of times you'll have the salesperson say to you, what can I do to get you to take this vehicle home today? And the reason they're doing that is because they know that if you were to leave the lot, you're going to have time to research and to think about it, and you may change your mind. So you need to give yourself that opportunity. Step away and take time to think about it. And once you do choose, yes, this is the right vehicle, then you have the opportunity to negotiate. You can negotiate things such as the price of the vehicle. You could negotiate if it is a car dealership, perhaps that they will give you free oil changes for a certain amount of time or some type of warranty. So make sure that you go in strong and bold and know exactly what you plan to leave with. Are you questioning if it's even worth getting rid of a car payment and spending cash on that? Well, let me just fill you in on some numbers here. If you were to eliminate a $500 a month car payment by purchasing it with cash and then holding on to that car for several years versus switching cars out every time that you can, then if you put the $500 a month into an account that is earning 8% interest, which you can easily do with index funds and mutual funds, so you earn 8% a year on the $500 a month, and you did that from age 20 to age 60, so for 40 years, that car payment would turn into over $1.5 million. I hope you really enjoy that car that you are changing out on a regular basis if you're giving that up instead.